All right, how are you all doing out here? Yes, we're entering the home stretch, coming into our grand finale. We're going to be closing out the morning session here with keynotes from Del Bigtree and our very own Christopher Life. Right before we do that, we have our next speaker coming up, who's a dear sister of mine. She is bringing the love, bringing the heart. She's a founder of Humans I Trust and LoveCoin. Folks, please put your hands together for Virginia Salas Castillo.
The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you, me, is here to create magic on us. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on us. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you and me is here to create magic on us. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. Power of you and me is here to create magic on us.
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all so much for being here in this moment. Thank you for your presence. It is a gift. It truly is a gift. I'd love to ask us in this moment right now, how united are we as an independent movement? How united are we as an independent movement? And just from 0 to 100%, I would love for you to just answer that to yourself right now. What's the figure that comes for you, 0 to 100? I'm going to test it right now. I utilize kinesiology, muscle testing. Who's heard of kinesiology before? Great, so I'm going to test it from 0 to 100%. How united are we? Do I have your consent to test our unification? Raise your hand if it's a yes. Yes, okay, great. So from 0 to 100%, how unified are we right now as an independent movement? 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. 50%. Raise your hand if you got that as well. Would you agree we're like 50% united? We're like halfway there. Raise your hand if it was less for you. Raise your hand if it was more for you. Amazing. Okay, great. How would it feel to get that to 100%? Are we in for 100%? Give me some cheers if we're up for 100%. Ow! Come on, louder. Let's go. 100%. That would be great, right? Okay. Let's get it to 100%. Okay. So I work a lot with the energetic and the emotional body, and so that we're really at 100% within inside of ourselves every day. That's how I live my life every day, at 100%. Usually 111, but let's just go with 100 right now. And so we're going to get there now as a collective. So I'm going to see what is the emotion that we need to clear as a collective to get to 100%. Are we down for that? Can I get some raise of hands? Okay, so we're going to see what needs to actually be felt. Because what I've noticed to be true, can I also get my counter on? This is why we're late, guys. We don't even have a counter here on stage. I don't know how long I'm speaking. This makes sense. So yeah, I'd love to get a counter on because I'd love to respect all of your time and really be here for my allotted slot. So that would be great. And so what I've found to be true, and I've been healing all sorts of trauma from sex trafficking, war, everything you could possibly imagine that's been in people's systems for 50, 60, 70 years. And it's actually quite easy. There's something there that in the moment of impact when it happened, like for example, you got shot or you got betrayed by someone, you couldn't actually say, ouch, that hurt. You betrayed me. You betrayed my trust, you hurt me. You couldn't say that in that moment. You couldn't say that when you were 5. You couldn't say that when the neighbor was touching you or whatever the situation was. So we're gonna bring that emotion into the present and we're gonna process it so that we can get to 100%. Does that make sense so far? We're just going to feel the emotion and we're going to get there. Okay, great. So what emotion needs to be felt in order for us to get to 100%? Anger. Anger. The emotion is anger. Is it self to other, self to self? We're angry at ourselves. Who resonates with that? Who has some anger at the fact that we're in this room right now? Why are we not independent already? Why are we not free already? Raise your hands. Who feels that within inside of themselves, that they're actually true and honest with themselves? Who experiences some anger right now at this system, at the injustice, at the children that are going missing, at the 100 million people in the world that are enslaved right now? We are living in modern slavery. I'm pretty angry about that. I can resonate with that. And so let's process that. I love screaming in pillows. We don't have enough pillows right now to get us all to shout into them, but I definitely recommend trying it at home. Whenever you're angry, just scream into a pillow. You'll feel 1,000 times better. It's like the miracle recipe for everything. Sorry, I'm messing up this microphone a little bit. Okay, great. So I think instead of us all starting to scream, I would say, let us just first allow ourselves to feel the emotion. Can you consent to that? To just allow the anger to arise, because through it arising, we're going to allow it to also leave. The anger doesn't want to stay here. We don't want to be angry all day, but there is anger within inside of ourselves. So let's just breathe into that and allow the anger to come. And say, anger, just say it to yourself. Anger, what do you have to say to me? Anger, what do you have to say to me? It's got a message. It wants to share something. See what's coming. See if I ask myself, anger, what do you have to say to me? Anger says, I feel disappointed in my peers. I feel really fucking let down by the people around me that have said that they were going to help and that they were going to show up and they didn't. Because I keep on showing up. I've been showing up. I've been showing up day one. My anger is saying, there's been people that have disappointed me. Okay, I acknowledge that. I get to be angry about that. That is my right. And so let us move this anger. Raise your hand if anger said something to you. Did you hear a message? Did you hear something? Yeah? Okay. So let's move that anger out of our body. We thank anger for being here, and now let's move it. And we're going to move it by just stomping our feet. You can stand up if you want. You can be on the ground. Let's just move that anger throughout our bodies and just give it permission to be here. Thank you, anger. Thank you, anger. You're so intelligent. You're letting us know how we are literally going to double the unification in this independent movement, because right now we're at 50%. And we're not going to get anywhere with 50%. We want to be at 100%. Okay, so move the anger. And we can use some sound. Ha! 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 I hear you, anger. I hear you. You are heard. You are valid. Anger, you are valid. You are welcome. And I invite you to leave my body now. One last deep breath in. And one last ha! Amazing. Let's do that one together. I'm going to count to 3. We're going to breathe in, and when I count to 3, we're going to let out the ha. So deep breath in, holding that breath at the top, and when I count to 3, we're going to let it out. 1, 2, 3. Ha! Give yourselves a round of applause. Amazing. You. Incredible. So that's what I usually find as the first step. Before we come into relationship, before we go into business, before we start unification, we first have to clear all the things that are in the way. You know, like, who here has gotten married before? Raise your hand. I'm on my second round. Greatest teachers, greatest teachers. There's a book by my friend Jay Shetty called The 8 Rules of Love, and he says, your partner is your guru. Your partner is your guru because nobody studies and watches you more than that person that lives with you all day long, that watches the way you use your soaps and your toilet seat and all the other things. And so before stepping into partnership, it's really important that we clear whatever was before. The other marriages, the other relationships, that one guy that you kissed on the tree once when you were 11 that you didn't even think was relevant for your marriage, but suddenly, because they rejected you, that's alive, and you're 45 years old, and that's still looping in your system, right? So now that we've cleared that, so let me just test it. Have we 100% cleared anger? Yes. Okay, shall we see what the current unification is right now in the field? After we cleared anger, should we do that? Raise of hands if that's a yes. Okay, great. So how united are we now as an independent movement? And if we didn't get to 100%, I still have 2.5 minutes. It's okay. We still have a few more days. Let's move on that. Okay, we're going to get it to 100% by the time we leave. So how united are we now? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Round of applause, everyone. 100. Well done. Well done. Well done. Just bow to you guys. That was amazing. I said we weren't going to scream in pillows. I guess we just screamed without the pillows. So respect to everyone. All right. So for this last one, I would love for you to turn to your neighbor and to look at your neighbor and raise your hand if you need a neighbor. Please go find the person without the neighbor. Oh, look at these two in the front row. It's like created for you. I love it. Okay, wonderful. If you could sit just next to each other just for this exercise, it'll be helpful because you'll be speaking. And that way you don't have to shout across. Raise your hand if you have a partner. Amazing. Raise your hand if you don't have a partner. Anyone still need one? Back here, please find each other. Right here in the front as well. Perfect. Okay, great. So now please turn to your partner. And the person with the shorter hair is going to go first. So just see who has the shorter hair of your two partners and give them a high five. Just thank them. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up to this incredibly important conversation and space. And the person with the shorter hair is going to share first. And what this is about is because we're here to bring in unity, and we just brought in the unity to the energetic collective, but we're going to take it a step further and actually do that with each other. And we can continue doing this as we go throughout the conference, and there'll be different pieces as well. But I want you to create a space, because what creates unity, right? How do we unite? How do we actually unite? We talk about this concept for so much. We're going to unite. We're going to unite. How do you unite? And one of the keys that I have learned to unite is vulnerability. Is vulnerability. When you know something about me, when you know who I am, when I'm not this perfectly put together mirage, when I'm a human. Because that's who we are, and that's what we need to get back to our ultimate humanity. And so we're just going to share vulnerability with each other, and this is not about you going into your whole life and sharing all the things that you've done or done wrong. We don't have time for that, but there is an acknowledgement, a human acknowledgement, which I believe is true for all of us. Raise your hand if you ever fucked up. Right? Raise your hand if you ever regretted a decision that you made. Raise your hand if you were acting in your very best intentions with all the information you possibly had available and it still went wrong. Yes, me too. Me too. And so within this, we're just gonna admit to our humanity, and that's it. It's just the same for all of us. And so the person with the shorter hair, I want you to turn to your partner and to repeat after me. Can we try that? Raise your hand if you're a yes to that. Okay, great. So turn to your partner and just look at them and say, I've really fucked up sometimes. I was doing my best. Now tell them I was doing my best. And now tell them, looking at your partner, and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And then say, thank you. Thank you. All right, now the other way around. The person with the longer hair is going to share. And they're going to share to the person with the shorter hair. Are we ready? Give me some hands up if we're ready. Perfect. So the person with the longer hair is going to say, I really fucked up sometimes. I was doing my best. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. You can throw in an I love you as well if that's accurate to your relationship. But I feel like I love you is always appropriate. I feel that love is the universal language. Hey, if the tech can hear me at the back, by the way, there's a slide. Can you put that one slide that I gave you guys? That would be amazing. It should be after this one. All right, and to close this off, I would love to invite the Love Earth team to be here on stage with me. I have the very beautiful privilege of being a very loved person in this world since I was a child. It's really cool, actually. But I'm just one person, and there's an entire community of thousands and thousands and thousands of people across the world that are doing good work, really, really good work, that are bringing the regenerative technologies and the blockchain solutions and the lands and the thousands of acres of lands and the birthing centers and the schools that are being built. And so I want to honor this team and these people of like true legends and Jedis and warriors. And you heard from my twin Vuja before, who did us some beautiful breath work. And I just want to, speak a celebration and honoring to what is happening here. I just want to come and give you all the good news. We've already done it. We've already done it. And we have everyone that we need right here in this room. Yeah, celebrate yourselves. It's fucking awesome. It's epic. Thank you. Thank you. We've done it. We have everyone. We have the currencies. We have the systems. We have the technologies. We have, Electify. We have all these things. We have it here already. And the reason there's not more people in this room right now is because we don't need more people in this room. It's not about the numbers. It's not about what it looks like from the outside. It's about the impact that we can make with one single thought. Just one thought. Imagine what one human being can do. How many people do we need to start a movement? Just one. It's just that one guy, that Christopher Life, that believes it, that thinks it's going to happen, and that will not stop, right? And so when you have that one person, all you need is one follower, that first person that believes in you too. And then you get 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. And I know that we are on a bit of a time crunch, right? When it comes to our water resources, and the Amazon is currently burning as we're standing here, and all these things that are happening. I know we're a bit out of a time crunch, but we're gonna make it, and we got this. Because if you've seen any of those Avenger movies, the superheroes do it in the last minute. Unfortunately, that's kind of our human timing. So we're here, We got this, and I love you all. Thank you for playing. Thank you for unifying. I felt it. I saw some beautiful tears in this room. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being all of yourself. I think there's also some like beautiful healing that happened through people that already knew each other, that had to forgive themselves in this moment, because we all need to. And let's remember to ask for forgiveness. Let's lead for all vulnerability. Let's unify and connect. You guys are all invited to Love Lounge. We're going to be doing tea and cacao and beautiful things, and just want to bring our hands together here as we come. And just let's take a deep breath in together, all of us collectively. And let's breathe into the fact that we've made it, that we're here. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Thank you for showing up. I love you all. Blessings to this movement. May the whole world unify with us. Thank you. Together we rise. Oh, oh, oh! Yo, 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 yo! We out here, baby. We out here. Let's go. Oh, Slinky Sloth. This is Slinky Sloth, by the way.